rubies and emeralds.
Only the best, Siobhan.
Only the best. Here it is.
Oh, come on. Okay, now let's get excited.
Wait a minute.
How many of these do we have? I'm hoping for at least 3,000.
158.
That's a little under the 3,000.
It is a little.
So should we just say 90 seconds or sell out? Because obviously at $199, that would be gone in a heartbeat, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
yeah.
a killer deal.
And it's a customer pick. So the reviews are in. This is not one of those, oh, well, I don't know. No, it is gorgeous. And you all, with your fabulous taste and the highest standards, said, yeah, it really is. Tell a friend. And you did. Thank you for that.
If you, because when it's a clearance day, there's so much going on. It's like one after the other after the other. If you just take a step back and read that, then look at that, and then look at that, I cannot imagine you not calling in to get it. That is a Rarities ruby, emerald.
Emerald even.
It's a funny looking ruby. It's a Rarities emerald and it's even the free shipping.
Right.
Well,
there's no need to do free shipping, but why not, right? It's the holidays.
We love everybody.
Of course we do. We'll
take the credit for it, Siobhan.
Yeah, we had nothing to do with that, but we're glad. Plus, on any clearance purchase of $75 or more, this one qualifies, you will have that free shipping. So think about that for some other selections too. Guys, you don't need to be a May baby. You just need to love beauty. And by the way, I wanted to show you this. It's not so long top to bottom that it's interfering with my knuckle anyway. So chances are it will work on yours also.
It elongates the finger though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's very dramatic and elegant. Sorry, I don't want to sound like a broken record, and I know I do. I have to ask this again.
Okay.
Is that real emerald? Or is that it's like simulated? That's real emerald.
Real. It's natural, real, from Mother Earth.
You'd go into the department store and spend more on fashion jewelry than you would. I mean, what store do you find real emerald like that?
No, no. Even when you go to oh, don't hang up. We've counted you in. Things are happening. Okay, sold out. Waitlist is available.
It's all going on tonight.
Thank you very, very much.
Moments away from our Heidi Das 5.